It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Last August, about a year ago, I went off to Cantillon in Brussels. Amazing place, and I picked up two beers. One of them being this, Cuve Gilloise. It's a 5% ABV Lambic, so I've aged it for a year. It was bottled on the 16th of February 2015. You can see there. And it's currently something like the 19th of July, so about 11 months to a year of aging. I'm going to get it out into a glass, see what we get. So you've got the nice bottle cap and the cork. What I like about these bottle caps is the fact that when you crack them open, there's no hiss, there's no fizz because the cork's in. Listen. It's almost, when I first did it, I was kind of slightly disappointed. I was kind of like, oh. No hiss, and then of course you just realise that there's a cork there, so here we go. There's a bit of fizz on this one. I think, not too much. Okay, so beer in the glass then. Now I did have one of these beers and I drank it quite young, and I thought, you know what, I just want to age it a little bit more because this is the reason. This lovely carbonation, that bottle conditioned beer needs just a little bit more time, because the last bottle, it wasn't completely flat, but it just needed a little bit more. And here's the result of another kind of 6 months of aging, is that it's got a lovely head on the beer, 1 to 2 finger, nice level of carbonation. You can see the carbonation. It's 5% ABV, as I mentioned. It's a lovely lemon coloured ale, slightly hazy. Let's get the aroma. Oh, it just smells amazing. It's a lovely sourness in there from this Lambic. Kind of sharp, like a sharp cooking apple in the aroma. Maybe the slight hint of balsamic vinegar. Should we dive in? Cheers. Oh. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows, what a beer. It is currently, it was meant to be the hottest day yesterday. It's the hottest day today. It's 29 degrees. So I needed a beer. There's another reason why I opened this beer. I needed a beer that I can kind of chill down. Most of the flavours coming from the yeast. That kind of sourness, that bacteria sourness. Because the gers will go off. It'll go off for if you open a Gers in the first 6 months of his life, it'll definitely be kind of more or less undrinkable. I was in Brussels last year for the beer conference, and they kind of mentioned it in detail, in that it kind of levels off after about a year or two, and then the beer somehow naturally becomes a decent beer, and it's absolutely kind of drinkable. In a way that it doesn't taste off anymore. A natural Lambic, you can kind of leave for 3 years before bottling, and then it'll taste its finest. So I put another year on it now, so maybe this beer could be 3 to 4 years old. So when they say they bottled it in 16th of February 2016, maybe they've kind of stored it somewhere before then. Please put your comments in the comments box on this. Be interested to know if you know Cantillon's procedure in how they bring this beer to the end product here in the bottle. As I mentioned, it's based on the local Brussels football team, this beer. It's absolutely fantastic. Malty, sweet, sour, lots of sharp cooking apple flavours. It's just a wonderful drinkable drink. A wonderful drinkable drink. I need to get out in that sun in the garden, don't I? So it's bottle conditioned. The carbonation is much better on this bottle than the one I had 6 months ago, as I mentioned. It just got a little bit more fizz to it. It needs that. These type of beers, they slightly remind me of champagne in that it's very carbonated, and it's got that kind of dry, slightly sourness to it, like a really good champagne, and an apple flavour in there, that cooking apple. There's a lot of biscuity malt. It's a top beer. Top beer. I love my time in Cantillon. Have a look on YouTube. Have a look at Cantillon Brewery Tour. You'll have a look at my video there at Cantillon from last year. Here we are. A very special vintage bottling of Cantillon Lambics, aged for 2 years in oak and dry hopped in the cask. Right, okay, so it's aged in 2 years. So that's what happens basically. That kind of, in the first year or 18 months, is more or less undrinkable, and then after 2 years, it becomes drinkable. So beer with taste evolution, to be drunk preferably within 20 years after bottling date. That is amazing, 20 years. Stored and served at cellar temperature. Yeah, 15 degrees. It's 12 to 15 degrees. It's constantly in my kitchen. We're kind of underground here. It's constantly about 10 all year round. It's absolutely perfect then. Okay, I'm going to rate Cuve St. Gilloise from Cantillon. 5% ABV. Just a stunning beer for a daytime drink in the garden. I'm going to give this beer a whopping 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Put your comments in the comments box. Please subscribe to our daily beer reviews, and cheers.